Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. And joining me again, Ricky Chiruggi's Derek Rutherford down in Phoenix down there. How's everything going down there, Phoenix Bug Guy?
Pretty good, man. Killing bugs and walking around. I took this new job and I've been walking like 3 to 4 miles a day.
Wow.
So when I started the job, and then I didn't really super weigh myself before I started the job, but I knew that I was around a certain weight. And then I weighed myself and I'm down about 29 pounds. So
Wow.
in a month. So that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the main reason I took this job. I like doing pest work, but the main reason I took it is because it was just a lot of walking. And I'm 3 years old and I was working from home and there was a big mirror that I saw right next to me and I was just getting really big. So I had to get exercising and try to save myself, see if I can stay on this earth a little bit longer than I'm aiming for right now.
Right. Yeah, that's my goal, to stick around as long as I can for my kids.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to check out early because of being unhealthy, Andrea Lynn Vian Thomas here from Junction City, Ellen Dodson from Leavenworth.
Yep.
Alicia Perret from I forget where she's from, but she's here a lot. I like her. Too. And then we got Marlene Horde Benjamin from Smith Center, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you all here. So how was your week, Ricky?
No, just busy at work, doing the same old, and then getting home and taking care of my kid and working on the page and making flyers, updating flyers.
There's been like a lot more commenting on flyers in the last week or so, it seems like.
Yeah, I've been trying to really keep, and of course Facebook, constantly ever changing things, and I keep getting notifications on my phone saying that Kansas Missing and Unsolved got an important comment from this person.
Yeah, I get that
person.
Too.
I'm like, okay, what are you doing now, Facebook?
Yeah, but I mean, it's I've been an admin on the page for probably 2 years, and this last week I've seen more activity. Maybe it's just Facebook changes stuff like you're saying, but it seems like every 30 minutes it's like bing, and I look at it and it says important information that just happened over at Kansas Missing and Unsolved. But I never touch those. Like, I've never checked a notification from KMU because I don't want to take the chance that I hit something and you don't see it. So I just don't look at messages on K unless you tell me to go look at something.
Right. Most of the time, in those comments are people saying shared from or prayers for, or something like that is what most of those comments are. Some actually give some information, and I've had to watch some comments pretty closely because there was one, I can't think of which young lady it was missing, but she was located, and we had an issue with comments on there saying that they hoped that the kid got made to pay back, pay restitution for doing what she did. Basically victim blaming, and there's no place for victim blaming at all.
No, I remember that. She's actually in our Located Safe tonight, and that was a buddy of mine sent me her information. He's like, "Hey, you guys need to make a flyer for this girl. She's in danger." But luckily they were able to find her.
Yeah, she was an out of stater, as a matter of fact. Yeah, she was from out of state.
Yeah, but it's still scary, like she was basically, I don't know the full story, but kind of lured away from somebody who was older and dangerous.
Yeah, they found her with a 25-year-old truck driver.
Yeah, that's not a good look. She was 13, so
not
a good look. Well, we are here on Saturday night. Real quick before we next week you work on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I think we're still doing 9 o'clock from what I could tell. They haven't changed it to 10 yet, thank goodness.
Okay, all right. Well, we can talk about it. I did talk to my supervisor. If we need to do the occasional Thursday on your day off or something, if you work that weekend, I can probably get home and wiggle enough room in. But Yeah, we'll figure something out.
And I don't like doing that to our viewers because it bounces things all over the place, and I don't like doing that. And it just,
I want to have just one night a week that we can do it, but
that's why we've been in search of corporate sponsors to try to cut back some work hours so we can be available more, but it's just not happening yet.
We have enough cases to go live every night, but we just don't have the manpower to do so.
Yeah,
it's we got to work, so
yeah, those bills don't pay themselves.
No, they don't. Glad she was located safe. Hello from Larned, Kansas. Hello, Deborah.
Yeah,
good to see you.
Yeah, they're still showing 9 o'clock all the way through the end of March, so maybe they're deciding to stick with 9. I hope.
Hopefully, it's post-COVID, man. Maybe they just need to chill.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of changes since COVID happened. Like Walmart's not open all night anymore. A lot of things are different.
Yeah,
a lot of things are different.
Ow, sorry.
New case. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with some cases. We're going to cover a lot of grounds tonight. If you can do us a favor, please go ahead and click that share button and share this out to your friends and family. And you're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
All right, we're going to start with Christopher Campbell this evening. He's missing from Valley Center, Kansas since March 2nd of 2022. He's 37 years old, 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighs 195 pounds. He has dark brown hair and green eyes. He was last seen outside of Valley Center getting into a red-brown SUV that's not his. Again, he's 37, 6 foot 2, weighs 195 pounds, has dark brown hair and green eyes. He was last known to be wearing a hoodie, an insulated vest, jeans, and boots. He does have 5 tattoos, one on his right forearm, his right shoulder, his left upper arm, his left shoulder blade, and right calf. I don't have the descriptions for those tattoos. If I can get those, I will add those. If you have any information regarding Christopher's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Valley Center, Kansas Police Department at 316-755-7325 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him located safe and back to where he needs to be.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. It was actually his wife that got a hold of me about him missing, so hopefully we can help her get him found.
Yeah, that's scary. You hate to see it.
Yep, definitely.
She's worried sick. She has no idea where he's at. And then the whole gets into a vehicle that's not his. I mean, that's vaguely eerie to say. That's the information that was sent to you.
Right.
I wish it was more, I wish we knew what color. Did it say color and like what type of vehicle?
It said red brown SUV. No
red,
make,
brown
model.
SUV.
Yeah, no make, model.
So without a make and model, it makes it kind of hard, but at least they know the type of vehicle he was last seen getting into. But again, hopefully they can, pull together leads and stuff just from his, his phone and stuff like that. But then, honestly, Ricky, I don't know how much law enforcement uses cell phone technology when they're investigating. I don't think it's legal for them to get access to it.
I mean, I hear from time to time. I hear occasionally from time to time their cell phone last pinged from here or there. So in some instances they do.
Right, but I mean, I think it's actually like probably not just totally legal for like say this guy's missing to go through his messages and go through his email. It's probably not legal, but I mean, I'm sure you could see a lot of vital information by looking through those things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that his wife probably is at least going through that stuff. Just like a lot of people say, a lot of times the most reasonable explanation is usually what happened. So just really piece together his last couple of days we saw him and see what we can do about bringing him home, because you got to move quick, because sometimes we've seen flyers go where we cover somebody and they're on next week's located safe reel. And then we have Kenny Wrightcheck, who we haven't seen in 2 years.
Yeah. So. I've had a few where I've made the flyer before I've gone to work and before I've gotten home from work that day that have been found.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome.
But
we don't want to show people's picture on this. We want people to not have to show their picture on this wet show.
But what you were saying about the not being legal, I think I've heard more than a few times that sometimes law enforcement will have to subpoena the cell phone company to get cell phone data and stuff.
Yeah, which is a lot of time, and time is a valuable thing when you have a missing person.
Oh yeah, I don't agree with it. I mean, I think with time being of the essence, these like cell phone companies and stuff. So sure, whatever we can do to help.
Just call them immediately. Hey, where's this cell phone pinging at right now? What were the last 5 text messages on? I just feel like there's a lot there, but who knows what the legalities are if they're allowed to do that. Tell us about, is it Khadijah?
I'm gonna say it's Khadijah. I'm gonna say Khadijah Beaver. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since March 13th, 2022. She's 14. She's 5'6", weighs 230 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. And this is actually the second time we've done a flyer of her. The first time, the only photo I had was the one there with the glasses and the kind of light green shirt going on there. I just recently was sent the other ones when she went missing this time. So she's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since March 13th, 2022, 5'6", 230 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Khadijah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't help get her located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah. You're way better at reading names than I am, because when you said Khadijah, that makes complete sense.
Well, some of that came from back in the day. I was a telemarketer for.
Oh, so you dealt with everybody when you called people.
Yeah, so I made it a point to try to do the best I could to pronounce those names as best I could.
Right.
Because, man, sometimes you didn't pronounce them right and people would blow up. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful name, Khadijah.
Yeah.
Looks like they call her KD, though.
Yeah, looks like she goes by KD for short.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, hopefully, we can get the scoop on where she's at. Maybe get her home. Spring break. I don't know what it's like in Kansas right now. Right now in Arizona, we're on spring break.
Yeah, we're on spring break here too. It's actually winding down. They go back on Monday. So
yeah. So Monday, let's be back. Let's go to school. Let's get on with your life. Let's do big things. Big things, Khadijah.
Yep. Call somebody, let me know where you're at,
Yeah. Call someone.
So here I am, come get me. I'm ready to come back.
Let's talk about Lorenzo.
Okay. I gotta find this flyer here. Lorenzo Manuel Figaro, missing from Wichita, Kansas since February 10th of 2022. 16 years old. He's 5'8", weighs 164 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. He did not return home from school on February 10th. And he's 16 years old. He's 5'8", weighs 164 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Lorenzo's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get Lorenzo located and back home where he needs to be. It's interesting. I just got a hold of his information a couple of days ago, and he's been missing for over a month.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just hope we can get him found and back to where he needs to be.
Yeah. That's terrible. Somebody's missing for a month and we don't hear about it.
Yeah.
It's another reason to share this page and share flyers so people can learn about this page. And
definitely.
I don't think people realize how many people this page reaches.
Oh, I know.
Like, it's powerful. When you share these flyers, a lot of eyes see them.
Oh, yeah.
We see
the flyers, the shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see we got a couple of comments down there. Deborah Click from Larned, Kansas is here, and Mary Dyer Williamson from South Texas.
Nice.
Yeah. And Ben Coates asked if we'd ever done Tanya Knight. Yeah, we've covered her a couple of times. We definitely have. We can work her either into tonight's show or possibly next week's show.
Yeah, we'll see what we do. We look on time. Let's talk about Mahela.
Okay, Mahela Hoover, and it's supposed to be Halford, Hol, and I had some confusion there because I was sent Halford, and then when I looked her up on KBI, it was Halford. So I emailed the person that emailed me her information, and after I got the flyer posted, they said, oh, it's supposed to be Halford, so it's actually Mahela Hoover Halford, Holford. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since March 12th of 2022. She's 15. She's 5'4", weighs 150 pounds. She has dark brown hair and brown eyes. And it's believed she may be either in the Topeka or Kansas City, Kansas area or the Kansas City, Missouri area. Again, she's 15 years old. She's 5'4", weighs 150 pounds, has dark brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Mahela's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Mahela located and back to where she needs to be. Hopefully that wherever these young ones are that are missing, hopefully they are safe and staying out of harm's way wherever they are until they can get back to where they need to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and you get down to the point of it, you're like, if they're with an adult, then and I don't know everybody's business. Maybe they're with somebody they can trust, but a lot of times if you're with an adult that's okay with you being on a missing persons poster and not turning you in, you got to question what kind of hands you're in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't get adults that, it's always baffled me why adult males, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s want to mess around with the girl that's like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, sometimes even younger than 12. It just baffles me what's the turn on for them. I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
It's sad. Makes me sad.
Yeah, maybe I guess I don't want to wrap my head around it, I guess. I'm probably better off not.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just I hope that these young people are safe and away from any kind of dangers, because it's just, I don't know. That's the thing, I posted that video on the page like a few weeks ago, and it's crazy. Like, I think pretty much everybody probably is leery of at least one person in their life. Maybe they've never talked about it to anybody. But everybody has one person that's maybe said something off color, made a comment about something they shouldn't have. I mean, and a lot of these times these are people that you care about, that you're like, that was kind of an odd thing to say or do. But that's a conversation that needs to happen. If you know somebody who's being weird, tell people so you can avoid them victimizing somebody.
I'll tell you, I like to watch this sheriff down in Polk County, Florida. His name's Grady Judd. I like watching his news conferences because they are something else. They just recently did a child porn sting down there, and when he does his news conferences, he has like 8x10 photos of each person they've arrested, and he will talk about how they approach these kids, because when they do the stings, they pose as kids, but it's not really kids. And the kind of things that they say to them, and what they're going to bring with them, and what they want to do to them, and this and that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And on this last sting, he had a guy that they had arrested that was a lifeguard at a hotel in a Disney resort down there in Florida, a former judge. And I'm just like, my God, it's crazy. I mean, the judge especially blew my mind, because it's like, it's a judge, for crying out loud. He ought to know better.
And a lot of times, people hide in plain sight. Like, I have a friend who wants to do something with, like, overhauling the foster care system, because there's nothing wrong with it. Well, there's a lot of things wrong with the foster care system, but needs to happen. You have children because of the foster care system. You know what I mean? Like, there are good people that are utilizing that thing and taking care of people that need help. But if you think about it, if somebody was out there and they're for whatever sick and twisted reason predisposed to want to harm children, and then you find out that there's a company that's giving away children that are and I use the word damage, but I say they're giving away children that are coming from broken homes that are vulnerable.
Right.
So if somebody were to want to take advantage of that, it could be, so we got to start looking at like everything and question everybody. You know what I mean? Like if it saves one kid from having to go through something terrible, then it's worth it at the end of the day. So I really do tell people, if you know something about somebody that's bad and they've harmed a child, like say something to somebody. Don't hold it in. I held something like that in for a long time, and I regret it.
Yeah. And sometimes Grady will go into detail about their preferences as far as like he'll say this person likes to watch child porn with kids as young as, like 2 or still in diapers or 4 or 5. And then he'll follow up. Did you hear what I said? And as young as, and I'm just like, he likes to really emphasize that. And I really get a kick out of him. He tells it like it is. He pulls no punches. I just noticed here, Dorothy Euban says, love him. Yep, I love him too. Every time I get a chance. That week that I was down with COVID and I couldn't talk or anything, I watched a lot of Grady Judd news conferences. And I vegged out on those, and I just was like, wow.
I'll have to check him out. You've been talking about him for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty much when you had COVID, you were talking about it.
Yeah, he's Polk County Sheriff.
I'll check it out, man. I'll check them out.
All right. Moving back to the cases.
Well, this is an older case.
Yeah. This is actually Justin Scott Cybec. He's missing from Kansas City, Kansas. Excuse me, goodness. Since June 20th, 2021. He's 32 years old. He's 5'10", 170 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was last seen on Sunday, June 20th at the Days Inn located at 7721 Elizabeth Avenue in Kansas City. His car was found abandoned and empty with the window pried open and the glass broken. Again, he's 32. He's 5'10", weighs 170 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes, has a tattoo across his chest that says blessed, and you can kind of see it with that red tank top shot there. He was last known to be wearing a red tank top similar to the one in the photo there and khaki shorts. If you have any information regarding Justin's disappearance, or you know his whereabouts, or you think you may have seen him or have any information regarding this case, please contact Detective Minnick with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-573-6036 or the TIPS hotline 816-474-8477 and see if we can't help get Justin located and back to where he needs to be. And some theorize that there may have been foul play involved in his case.
Well, I mean, June 20th, 2021. I mean, unless he's playing a really great game of hide and seek, something's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless, because I'm sure it's happened. The Unsolved Mysteries did a show, and this family was looking for their dad. It was kind of sad, man. Kind of funny, but kind of sad. They were looking for their dad. It was on Unsolved Mysteries for years. They thought he just vanished. They air the episode. Turns out he's living in Kansas City. By the time they show up to meet him, he vanished again. He didn't disappear. He just didn't want to be with his family anymore. I mean, So there are cases of people just erasing their, everything and just going off. But that's just not super common for people. So you just think Justin either took off and vanished, and now he's living a life somewhere else under a different name, and nobody's used his social or anything, or something bad happened.
Mm-hmm. And Dorothy follows her comment up with love him with he calls it like it is. Yeah, Grady does. That's for sure. I've heard him a couple times. He talks about certain different crimes being not tolerated in Florida, and they'll throw you in jail for it. So if you want to do it and not be held accountable for it, go to California. They don't hold anybody accountable for anything out there. Like, whoa.
Jeez.
So yeah, he's a real, he tells it like it is, man. He ain't afraid. I like him. We need more sheriffs like him, man.
I think that we need people that just shoot from the hip,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, we're gonna cover some unsolved homicides, and then a couple more. Actually, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and cover the other two missing people. Let me double check them. So first one we're going to cover is Randy Leach.
Okay.
And then we'll do Dana Jane Bruce, and then we'll talk about some unsolved homicides.
Okay. Randy Leach is missing from Linwood, Kansas since April 15th of 1988. He was 17 when he went missing. He would now be 51. He is 6'3", weighs 220 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, pretty good sized kid himself. I mean, he was reported missing on April 16th, the day after. He had a curfew at 12:30 a.m. at the time he vanished, and usually honored it. He left his family home at 6:30 p.m. to attend a friend's pre-graduation party in a rural area 5 miles east of her residence on April 15, 1998. Before arriving at the party, he stopped at Stout's convenience store and purchased some candy, soda, and gas. Then he talked to some friends, and he went to DeSoto to check on the car he'd been restoring. As a result of these errands, Randy did not arrive at the party until between 9:30 and 10. His parents did not realize that Randy hadn't come home until they woke up at 6 a.m. on the 16th. They first thought he had been in a car accident and called one of his friends, who said she hadn't heard from him. Randy's parents then contacted police. Investigators went to the site of the party Randy had attended, but it had already been cleaned up and there was no evidence to be found. Witnesses at the party believe Randy departed between 1:15 and 2 in the morning, but no one actually saw him leave. At the time he was last seen, he was too drunk to walk straight. Randy apparently left driving his mother's gray 4-door 1985 Dodge sedan with Kansas plate number LVJ8721. He never returned home, has not been heard from again. He was carrying $50 cash at the time of his disappearance, and his mom's vehicle that he was driving, has never been located either. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Randy Leach or know of his whereabouts, please call the Leavenworth County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 913-682-5724. or with KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help get Randy located and back to where if he met with foul play, so it could be laid to rest properly, or whatever the case may be. But hopefully he may still be out there. But if not, let's get him brought home and lay him to rest properly. And I know his mom's really the only one that's still looking for him, because his dad passed away not too awful long ago. So his mom's really the only one left looking. And Dorothy's asking, "Hey Tricia, how you doing?" And Dorothy's saying, hasn't that dive team? Yeah, they have Adventures with Purpose. They were out doing some diving, and apparently somebody had told me that they had stated they weren't going to be coming back to the area to do any more searching for him. I don't know why. But apparently they're not going to make any more efforts to search. I don't know if it was just too dangerous or if they were getting any kind of threats or anything like that. I don't know.
Well, as soon as you said that, excuse me, that the party that he went to the night he disappeared, as soon as I heard that building burned down, how quickly after him going missing did it burn down?
That I don't know. The part that got me, though, was the parts where investigators went to the site where the party was at, but it had already been cleaned up and there was no evidence to be found.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, okay. Say Randy Leach perished in that barn that night. That doesn't. I mean, that's a huge thing. But Randy Leach could have fallen and hit his head. They panicked, got rid of it, or somebody could have maliciously taken his life, and everybody's scared to talk. But if we don't like to get into too much speculation, but I feel like the barn being cleaned up the next day and the barn burning down just reeks of somebody trying to clean something up. But honestly, Adventures with Purpose, they did look at the lotto. To me, I thought either something bad happened, something went sideways that night in the barn, or he's in the water somewhere. Those were what I thought.
Right.
But I'm not a detective. I don't know anything.
No, I know Dennis Rubel with Muddy Waters Search and Recovery. He's planning on going over and doing some searches for Randy too. I know he's got some of those planned here in the very near future. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Trisha. Thank you, Trisha, for that. I thought it was you that mentioned that before. That said that Adventures with Purpose said they won't continue to search due to foul play and the danger.
Yeah.
So they must be getting some kind of threats or something to that degree to leave it alone or something. I don't know. Which is sad if that's the case, because he does need to be found.
Some people are willing to take some secrets to the grave, though.
That's true.
And take other people with them.
That's true. It's like they don't want it known, and they won't stop it. They won't stop at anything to make sure it doesn't get known. So,
one thing I tell those people that have those little bits of information that could blow a case wide open is that, it's not just you. There's a way we do these cases every week. If somebody did something bad to Randy, me and Ricky are pissed off. We never met the guy, but he's our friend. We talk about him often. We've gotten to know Randy. We've gotten to know his parents through Adventures with Purpose.
Right.
He's a person. He's not a flyer. He's a person.
Right.
And if you know something about his death and you can blow the case wide open, it's not just going to be you against the bad people. It's going to be you and us and everybody behind you. And that's what it's going to have to take at the end of the day, is everybody join together and be like, look, there's bad people out there that want to keep secrets, but they can't kill all of us. Like, just strengthen numbers. They can't hurt all of us.
Yeah, and Trisha echoed that. She said a lot of us care about him. Yeah, definitely.
Well, speaking of people not talking,
here's Esther Enru from Greensburg. She's here. Hey, Esther. And I did accept your friend request that I got from you, by the way.
Awesome. Speaking of loose, tight lips, let's talk about nobody. There's people saying we shouldn't talk about this case, but at the same time, this is just a missing persons case, and it's from 2008. But based on chitter chatter, it's just like all the other ones. It's like there's potential of foul play, but we're gonna keep showing Dana Jane Bruce because this is enough's enough. It's been way too long.
Yeah. Yep, Dana Jane Bruce. She went missing from Sedalia, Missouri on October 4th, 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 36. She is 5'2", 98 pounds. She has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. She was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Bruce after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She doesn't have credit cards, a debit card, a checking account, a cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She would now be 36. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. Dana was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. She has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She's blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100, or you can call the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number is 866-362-6422, and see if we can't help locate Dana and get her brought home where she needs to be.
Way too long.
Ellen saying, thank you for sharing Dana's flyer again. You're very welcome, Ellen. And she is actually one of Dana's family members.
Yeah, enough's enough on this one. It has been way too long.
Yep. Way too long. Coming up on 14 years.
Dang. Well, let's take a quick break here. We're gonna come back and talk about some unsolved homicides.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll be right back after this.
All right.
Hi, this is Brandon, producer of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast, and today I want to talk about one of our outstanding cases, Colton Ross Barrera. Colton went missing from Russell, Kansas on September 26th of 2008. He was 17 at the time he disappeared. He would now be 31. He's 5 foot 9 inches tall and weighs 135 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. A friend dropped him off at an outdoor skate park, and Colton was supposed to call his friend when he wanted to be picked up, but he never did. Authorities believe he left on his own accord, but Colton's family does not believe this because he wasn't having any problems that would cause him to run away, and he left his wallet and identification behind. Recent information suggests that Colton may have been killed and his body hidden. Colton's case remains unsolved. If you have any information regarding Colton's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call Russell County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-483-2151 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 or the FBI at 816-512-8200. And let's work together and get Colton back home.
And we're back.
All right. Sorry about that. While you were running that, I ran to the kitchen and reloaded my glass of milk real fast. And when I picked it up to go run in there, it slid right out of my hands and spilled on my desk.
Well, your milk addiction's finally crossed over into the show. Next week, we're going to have your milk intervention. Like, Ricky, it's the show or the milk?
Can't help it.
You almost missed the show.
Yeah, I grabbed my dish rag and crap, got to clean the milk up. Thank you, Brandon, for the outstanding case. They gave me long enough to take care of it.
Yeah. If anybody out there has a hookup with a milk company, we're trying to get Ricky a sweet milk endorsement. We feel like that would really tie the room together if we could get Ricky a milk endorsement. Nothing fancy, just some 2%. What kind of milk guy are you? 2%, or do you go full vitamin D?
Skim 1%, 2%, but I don't usually go beyond 2%.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I'm saying too many people know something.
Yeah.
And here's Sister Jeremy Cook. Actually, we have Jeremy on the list to cover tonight, Sarah.
That is so wild. I was just going through old cases tonight, pulling them at random. That's so wild that you showed up tonight. That's cool.
And it says he was murdered last year, and with the help of Kansas Missing and Unsolved, we were able to have flyers made, and the vehicle my brother was last seen in was found with my brother still in it. Yeah. Yep. And we're actually going to cover that here in just a little bit.
Right now.
Okay. Maybe. Let's see. It's November 19th, 2020, Wichita, Kansas. A citizen called 911 after finding a 2006 white Jeep Grand Cherokee. The last vehicle Jeremy Cook was seen in the 7300 block of East Bailey in Wichita. Officers found Jeremy inside with a fatal gunshot wound. The investigation is ongoing, but police say the shooting was not random and no arrests have been made. If you have any information regarding Jeremy's death, please call the Wichita Police Detectives at 316-268-4407 or Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111 or the Say Something hotline at 316-519-2282 and see if we can't get some justice for Jeremy and his family.
Didn't we cover his case?
And we did when he was a missing person. Yes, we did.
I hate when that happens.
Yep. So I went from a missing persons to an unsolved homicide, sadly.
Yeah. Jeez. That's rough.
Yeah, it is. Let's find his vehicle with him inside with a fatal gunshot wound. Hopefully somebody, hears this and sees this and knows something, will speak up and say something and give the detectives the information they need to make an arrest.
Yeah.
And his sister is saying, thank you. It means so much. You're very welcome, Sarah. Hopefully this helps, let people know it's not being forgotten about and it's not going to be let go. We'll cover it as many times as we need to.
Yeah.
Just to make sure his face stays out there and his case stays out there and, do what we can to help. Dorothy says, I hope so too. Apparently Dorothy thinks it's a hoot about my milk problem.
You do have a milk problem, man. I drink a lot of sugar-free French vanilla cream. I put like this much in my coffee, and I drink about not anymore because now I'm out and about all day. So I have like 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and that's it. But when I was working from home, I would crush like 8 cups of coffee a day. This size, large.
And Jeremy's sister is saying, yes, just come clean and let go of what definitely. I agree with you there, Sarah. If you know something, come clean and speak up.
People know about that.
Yeah. And I'll run those numbers again. The detectives' numbers is 316-268-4407. Crime Stoppers is 316-267-2111. And they have a See Something, Say Something hotline. It's 316-519-2282. So there you got 3 different numbers you can call and give what you know.
Yep. Let's talk about Gina.
Okay. That one actually happened here in my hometown. Let's see. She was 24 years old with an infant son, and she was a loving mother and a good person. It was December 28th, 1995. Gina dropped off her 15-month-old son at daycare, a program called Mornings Out for Mom at a Salina church. When she didn't return a couple hours later, the daycare called Gina's boyfriend at work. He went to the mobile home that they shared, and he found Gina brutally murdered. Baby was suddenly without a mom, and police were left with the case was proven to be a tough one. It was a crowded mobile home park in the heart of Salina with trailers that were close together. The violence happened sometime between 9 a.m. and noon. Still 26 years later, Gina Cypher's murder remains unsolved. Initial newspaper report says she was stabbed, but police are still keeping a lot of details secret. They say there have been a lot of leads that have gone nowhere. Detective Scott Hoagland said at the time of case, this old is frustrating. The community wants to see closure on this. We don't want to see a murderer walk free, and I'm confident an arrest will be made at some point. I can't say when. It could be next week. It could be several years down the road, but I'm confident an arrest will be made at some point. If you have any information on Gina's death, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477. Or you can text SA Tips to Crimes, that's 274-637, or go to www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit your tip there. You may receive a cash reward of up to $1,000, and you're not required to give your name, or you can call the KBI at 800-572-7463. There is also a governor's reward in the amount of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Gina's death. So, again, if you know something, say something. There's plenty of numbers and websites and everything out there for you to make the contact that you need to make to give that information to authorities. So please do that.
I think it's wild that they're not really officially releasing the cause of death.
Yeah. And kind of give you an idea, how time moves on and marches on. The trailer park that she was murdered in at that time is now one big vacant empty lot.
Wow.
All of it's been torn down. It's just, like I say, nothing but a big empty vacant lot.
Wow. Poor Gina.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Let's talk about Larry Tate.
All right.
Adams.
Larry Tate Adams Jr. Okay, this is September 26, 2009 in Topeka. Police officers were called about 4:40 p.m. to a residence at 918 Northwestern, just east of McKinley Park, after receiving a report of a shooting. After arriving at the scene, police found Larry Tate Adams Jr., 35, suffering from a gunshot wound. Larry was taken to Stormont Vale Regional Health Center by American Medical Response Ambulance in serious condition. He died later that morning. Witnesses told police Larry and another man had been arguing before the shooting. Witnesses described the shooter as a white male in his 20s with brown hair and brown eyes, standing 5'8", weighing about 140 to 150 pounds. The assailant was said to have been wearing a hooded sweatshirt at the time of the shooting and was driving a green vehicle, possibly a Dodge Neon or a Ford Taurus. If you have any information regarding the shooting or any other homicides, please call detectives at 785-368-9400, or you can leave an anonymous tip by calling Crime Stoppers at 785-234-0007. And see if we can get Larry Tate and his family some justice for Larry's murder as well.
This episode got dark.
And Andrea's asking if we have time on this show or next week cover Rosalind Velasquez again. Sure. And Sarah is saying, rest in peace, Gina, you were beautiful. Yeah, she was a very beautiful young lady. Pretty sad.
I don't have that, Rosalind.
Shit, we've covered her before.
How long ago?
I can't remember. I know it hadn't been too awful long ago.
How do you spell the first name?
It's Rosalyn. Yeah.
Rosalind.
It's an out-of-state one, if that helps.
Okay, let me see if I got it in my archive.
It's an out-of-state with a Kansas connection.
No, I don't have that. But we'll have it for next week, though. I can make a flyer for next week.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't have her.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't have it, because I know we've covered it.
Well, I only have, ever since I started making flyers, when Brandon's computer cut out, so I only have those.
Okay.
But we'll put it on a list, and we'll just, reshare her flyer on the page, and I'll have it for next week's show for sure.
Okay.
And then let's talk about Patricia. This is very recent.
Okay. Here, I'm going to go ahead and real quick, I'm going to shoot you Rosalind's flyer in chat so you got it at least.
Okay.
Yeah, this one here is a pretty recent one here. It's pretty tragic, too. It was December 24th, 2021, Kansas City, Kansas. Their police department's investigating a shooting that left one person dead and another person injured. Incident happened around 9:30 p.m. in the 2900 block of North 73rd Place. Officers heard shots from a few blocks away while responding to a different call. At the same time, nearby residents called police and reported they'd also heard the shots. When police arrived, they found Patricia, I'm going to say it's Pantajan, deceased, and her husband was found injured and in critical but stable condition. He's since been released from the hospital. Patricia and her husband had been watching TV in their home when the shooting happened. So basically, they were just sitting there chilling, watching TV, and somebody shot off a gun and it went through and hit them both, injuring him and killing her. Just, sitting in their house, minding their own business, watching TV. And sadly, there's no suspect information at this point. So if anybody has any information regarding this shooting, please call the Greater Kansas City Crime Stoppers Tips Hotline at 816-474-8477 and see if we can't get some justice for Patricia and her husband. Because that, to me, is just terrible. I don't know if it was somebody was targeting the wrong house, or if somebody was just being stupid shooting off a gun or what. But
how many shots were fired?
Didn't really say. I never did find any information on the exact number.
But at least,
so I don't know.
2 bullets. I mean,
and it was on Christmas Eve. Just sitting there watching TV, minding their own business, and boom.
You never know. My family, they live in a nice area here in Phoenix. Yeah. And not that it even matters. I mean, it's not like a mansion or anything, but I mean, it's like a nice neighborhood, like a park and everything. And like about 6 months ago, about 1 a.m, my brother's watching TV and he just hears boom, 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 boom. He runs outside and somebody's shooting the crap out of the house across the street, and then they sped off.
Oh, jeez.
And this is like a nice outskirtsy suburb. It's just like you never know where violence does not. No criminal has ever been like, hey, this neighborhood's too nice for me to be a criminal. We got to go to no. It doesn't matter where you are. Like, and the thing is this. I'll tell you this. I have somebody close in my family that went through a phase where they thought they were tougher than nails, and they had a lot of liquid courage often, and they carried a gun with them, and they talked about how awesome they were. And then in traffic, he liked to wave the gun around at people that would get in his way. And then he got a ticket for waving his gun in traffic. Now I was like his first strike. And then he went to somebody was in his yard, and he went outside to have a confrontation, and he fired his gun in the air, and that bullet went straight up, right back down, went through the roof, and landed 2 inches away from a toddler. And he had to go to prison for 5 years. And he doesn't act like that anymore. He's got a business. He goes to work every day. He's sober. But you think you're tough out there. You think you're just having fun firing a gun, but you have no idea where those bullets are going. Yeah. And if this is just a thing of somebody just being like, hey, I'm just going to shoot a gun out this window without even thinking about where these bullets are going, you ruined this family. They're broken forever because you were just. And again, it might have been somebody trying to fire those in there because they thought it was somebody else. Who knows what happened? Yeah. But those bullets they come down and they kill when they come out.
Yeah, and there's been other circumstances like Patricia's. I was reading about one. I can't remember where it was at. I want to say Kansas City, but not 100% sure, where there was a little girl in her bedroom, sleeping in her bed. Somebody drives by, shoots the house, hits the little girl in her bed, and kills her. So I mean,
hey,
it's stupid.
We need to make a flyer. I don't know if we ever did, but she was a journalist in Kansas, and about 6 months to a year ago, she was sleeping in her bed and she was shot in the head through the window, and they never figured out if it was foul play. But she was doing some stories on some I'll look her up right now while you're doing this next flyer.
Okay.
But yeah, Patricia Panajan, where we're looking for whoever shot that gun that night.
Okay.
But tell us about, quick here. Well, go ahead.
Esmeralda Castaneda from Wichita. Esmeralda, and then Sarah echoed your sentiment. What goes up must come down.
Exactly.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
Tell me about Wayland Bullcoming.
Okay. And we've actually covered him a couple of times too. This was May 27, 2011. So just about 11 years ago in Sealing, Oklahoma. He was killed in a hit and run in Sealing, Oklahoma. Again, May 27, 2011. He was 28. He'd been hit so hard that he was essentially dismembered. While his death had been ruled an accident, Wayland's mother has reason to believe that he was intentionally hit and targeted. The area where Wayland was supposedly walking that night is in the middle of nowhere, and he had no real reason to be out there. Authorities have said they've tracked down several leads, but not any that have gone anywhere. But the only thing definitely known about Wayland's death is that it occurred between 10:30 and 11:15 at night. His mother, Diane, is desperate for answers. If you have any information regarding Wayland's death, please call the Dewey County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office at 580-328-5558 and see if we can't get some justice for Wayland and his family. I mean, that had to have been hit pretty darn hard to basically essentially dismember him.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, maybe a semi-truck. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara Rick says that happened in Wichita with the 8-year-old girl. Okay, but the girl was in bed sleeping and was shot. Okay, thank you, Barbara. I couldn't remember if it was Wichita or Kansas City, but I knew it had been one of the two. But yeah,
right.
Just sleeping in her bed. Somebody drives by, shoots the house, hits her, and kills her.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, just people put the doggone guns away. Yeah, we have the Second Amendment, but that's just.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. People automatically jump to gun owners. You know what? Name me. You grew up in Kansas. You've been in Kansas your whole life. You know people in your personal life that are pro-gun, correct?
Oh yeah.
Would any of those people point a gun at a human being?
Not that I know of. Not
so
that
it has nothing to do
no.
with insane. Like my grandpa has more guns than I don't even know how many guns, but he has a lot of guns. Every time I go there, he's like, "Want to go shoot my guns?" He's got really fun guns to shoot. If I ever behave incorrectly with that gun, like if I, like don't put it on safety before I lower it, or if I talk and move this way, like he's immediately like, "What are you doing?" Like it's all about respecting the gun and knowing what that gun is capable of. So people that are just out shooting at a house willy-nilly, they're not gun people, they're idiots.
Yeah.
A gun person would never shoot a gun anywhere if it was aimed at where there could be civilization or people.
Yeah.
These aren't gun people, they're idiots.
Yeah. I mean, Second Amendment, it does guarantee us the right to bear arms, but that's to protect our property, protect our family, to provide food for our families, but not to go out and be stupid.
No, and that's what it is.
To go out and be stupid.
Anybody that's firing a gun at a residential house with no knowledge of who's inside is stupid. Like
you're shooting at somebody because they cut them off in traffic, or because they took their parking spot, or because they looked at them funny. I mean, that's stupid.
Go ask somebody who's been sitting in prison for 30 years because they made a really tough, hot topic decision, and they're like, "Well, I wish I wouldn't have did that. I wish I just would have shut up and went home."
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna
I killed somebody or something.
If you're gonna shoot at people because they cut you off in traffic, or took a parking spot, or looked at you wrong, or walked through your yard or something like that, you don't need to own a gun. If you're gonna do that, I mean, it's to protect your family, protect your home. Provide food for your family, but not to go out and be stupid.
Right. Well, Brandon is going to have a computer soon, folks. We will keep you posted on that. Go ahead.
Andrea was saying there was a shooting like that a few years ago in Junction City where they shot up an apartment building and shot through a kid's room. Luckily, the kids didn't get hurt. Thank God for that. And Shannon says, think about what a car does to a deer at 60 miles an hour. Yeah. I did Citizens Academy here in town several years ago, and I was doing a ride along with a deputy, and we had to go out to a call on the interstate where a van hit a deer. I didn't see the deer because it was several miles back from where the van was, but there was deer hair all along the side of that van. I can tell you that. So yeah, a vehicle does do damage to a deer.
Yeah.
But like I said, and I understand the deer did not make it from what I was told. So
yeah. Well, real quick, Brandon's going to have his computer back soon, but until then, I did whip together a quick located save for this week. I'm going to air it real quick, then we're going to come back and say our goodbyes, and we're going to be back next week, and it's going to be awesome, but we're going to play this real quick. We'll be right back.
I always like the located saves. That's pretty cool. It's nice to see him located save.
Where's old Double T at?
He's a videographer for the Salina Liberty indoor football team here in town, and they were in Topeka playing a game tonight. So he wasn't sure he was going to be able to be back in time to watch it live, but he said he'd watch the replay. He films the games for the coach and for the league. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so he keeps busy. Yeah, I saw him briefly before he headed out, and then he was headed over to the team hotel to hop the team bus and take off for Topeka. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
hanging out with the team.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He was even decked out in their what do I want to call it? Their road sideline gear, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah,
nice hoodie and matching pants and everything. It's really cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, proud of him for being able to do that. He's been doing that since before they became the Salina Liberty. They were the Salina Bombers, and he was doing it for them too. And then that team folded, and then they kicked up the Salina Liberty, and he took over started doing that for the Liberty too. So, yeah, he's doing pretty cool.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep. Jabergi's making an impact one way or another.
You guys are a duo, man.
Yeah. I'm really proud of what we do here, and proud of what the page has accomplished. It's been really crazy. Next month, April, we got a big special anniversary coming up for Kansas Missing and Unsolved next month. It's April 20-something. I have to look again. I can never remember the date, but I want to say the 28th, I think. But it will be Kansas Missing and Unsolved's 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
The page will have been going for 10 years. And it's hard to believe. It's been 10 years. 10 years and thousands of flyers later.
Are we going to do anything special?
I don't know. I mean, I got a special banner or a special, I guess you call it a banner made to post on the page that day. And April 28th. Yes, I was right. Got a banner to put up that day for it. And I don't know. I don't know if I got anything special planned. What day of the week is that even on? I have to look. March.
That's exciting stuff, man.
That's a Thursday. So is that a Thursday I work though? That's the key. Let's see today. So then I would be off 24th, then the 7th. Then nope, that'd be a Thursday I work. Wouldn't you know it?
Well, it's not like life's going to give us a good deal.
I'll have to see what I work that day. Maybe we can do something in the evening when I get home from work, do a special 10-year anniversary shout out or something. I can't believe it's been 10 years. It's just incredible. All the all the families that I've helped, all the connections I've made with in law enforcement and other entities around the state. And it's just incredible. Just incredible. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think so, man. Big things, man. You've done big things. You've helped a lot of people.
Yep. Most getting emotional here. Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Go
ahead.
I think we'll finish off with our what's becoming our regular prayer of the night before we leave. So I said, thank you, Heavenly Father, for bringing us together again tonight and letting us go over these cases again. And just pray that somebody will do the right thing and reach out and give that piece of information to bring somebody home or to solve an unsolved homicide. We know there's people out there that know they just got to come up with the courage and the heart to step up and give that information. And we pray that they do that tonight. And, thank you as we approach 10 years of doing this, the page anyway, the podcast's only been 2 years, but as we approach 10 years of doing Kansas Missing and Unsolved, the page, it's just been incredible. And thank you for all the blessings you've bestowed on this page in the last 10 years. And, with that, I'm going to say thank you. And we pray these things in your name, Heavenly Father. Amen. And we'll see you guys all next Saturday. And stay safe and God bless.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.